Hey everybody, this is Kevin and Brandon, and you are on an episode of Times with Kevin and Brandon. Now, this is a topic that I've been thinking about for quite a while, actually a great number of years, and it is industrial music. Now, industrial nowadays, in my opinion, is an umbrella of genres because myself, I do an industrial project called Charmed, which is industrial techno and industrial ambient. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the phrase industrial music, they immediately think of Nine Inch Nails and Ministry and such. And those bands are industrial rock slash industrial metal, obviously, but there are more aspects and elements of industrial type of music. Like, as I said, there is industrial techno and there's industrial ambient and also agrotech. And the original industrial is nothing like any of those genres. And in a way, I don't know how those genres got the term for industrial music, because if you listen to the original industrial music like Throbbing Gristle, Clock DVA, and other groups of the sort like SBK, they sound nothing like Skinny Puppy, Ministry, and definitely they don't sound anything like Nine Inch Nails, because those groups often, if not all the time, they used the sound of industrial equipment, literal industrial equipment. And the only well-known band that would have ever came close to that is KMFDM, when they were using the sounds of vacuums in their first performance. That is the closest that any of those bands ever came to industrial music. Now, industrial ended up describing bands like Ministry, Nine Inch Nails, and then it became an umbrella of genres, like I said, like my project Charmed, which is industrial techno and industrial ambient. Now, what are your thoughts on industrial music? If you can leave a comment below, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it, because I really want to hear what people's thoughts are on industrial music, because it's a very intriguing topic. And not only that, industrial has always had an intriguing culture, and I'm a huge fan of the whole Wax Trax legacy that record label slash record store in Chicago that left behind. And I think it's really cool how they started out in Denver and then moved to Chicago, and how the two owners were in a monogamous relationship with each other, and they bonded over their love of music and such. And to me, they not only did the two owners of Wax Trax create an amazing record label and record store, but they left behind a legacy with bands such as Ministry, My Life with the Kill Thrill Cult, and they even helped KMFDM get up off the ground with the assistance of Al Jorgensen when KMFDM came over from Germany to Chicago. You see, I think, back to the point, I think industrial also had a very impactful effect on music in general, because little did you know that techno's roots are ingrained in industrial. Techno and even house and electronic music in general had a lot of influence from industrial music. Now, as I said, we have a bunch of different types of industrial genres. Like I said, industrial metal, rock, industrial ambient, techno, agrotech. And sometimes as a music artist, I do feel guilty about using the industrial label for my techno songs, or industrial techno songs and industrial ambient songs, because in my opinion, the original industrial is nothing like what came after, like anything that came after, for the most part, unless someone's using the sounds of industrial equipment and maybe a little bit of guitars and bass and drums from time to time. I mean, so what are your thoughts on industrial music? What are your thoughts on the origins? And what are your thoughts on what is considered industrial music today? Everything from industrial rock to industrial ambient. What are your thoughts? Do you think that it should be labeled as industrial, or do you think it shouldn't? Now, mind you, I do have a music project called Charmed that releases industrial techno and industrial ambient, as I may have mentioned. And the reason why I call it that is just for simplicity's sake, because there's no official name for, dark techno and dark ambient that uses elements of what is considered industrial. And in my opinion, I think it's justified that I use those labels for that music. And you can check out my music on Apple, Spotify. It's all there. Every single streaming platform has my music by Charmed, and you could even follow me on Instagram. It's Charmed Music Official. It's my second page to Kevin and Brandon. But no less, what are your thoughts on industrial music nowadays versus industrial music back when it started, and what it would become and how it evolved and transcended over time? Please leave your comments in the comment section below, and give me some feedback. Thank you.